Hey guys, welcome back to another Photoshop tutorial. My name is Stacey and today I'm going to teach you how to do a jersey swap. Recently I created a graphic for Nehe and I had to put a Highlanders jersey over top of his Hurricanes jersey. So today I want to show you how I created that. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Again, my name is Stacey. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to put out a whole lot of content about Photoshop, videography, photography, creating micro content for your social channels, things like that. And if this is something you're into, it would mean the world to me if you hit the subscribe button below and follow my journey of becoming a content creator. So today I'm going to show you how I created the jersey swap for Nehe. One of the biggest challenges I found for this whole jersey swap thing was actually finding a jersey or a player that was wearing it the same way he was. There's two shots of him that I had on the graphic. One was him at the back, one of the bigger graphics I had with his shoulder turned. And so I had to find somebody that was wearing the jersey already with their shoulder turned the right way as well, because I had to sort of, otherwise it would have looked too distorted if I just get a flat lay image and then trying to put on him in an angle. The other image I had to find was when he was jumping in the air. So I had to try and find a player wearing the jersey in a similar size frame to be able to then mold onto him over top of his Hurricanes jersey. Cool, let's get into it. The tool we're going to be using in Photoshop is called the warp tool. It's a great tool, really handy to use, and there's a few dimensions to it, so I'll show you that as we go through the tutorial. Just a bit of a disclaimer, I'm no Photoshop professional or anything like that. This is just how I created the graphic for Nehe. Hopefully you get some value out of this and show you exactly how I went about creating it and give you some little insight, but also maybe give you some tips and ideas and if you want to create your own jersey swap. Cool, let's get into it. So here we have the final image of Nehe with the Highlanders jersey on. If I remove that, you'll see that you can see his Hurricanes jersey underneath. And then also I've got a few other layers over here to the side as well. So I'll take you through those steps. So if we pull that all the way back, so I've got the layer here, then I've got Nehe wearing this jersey here. So I found this jersey of him like this image here. So then I cut him out and so he's just only got himself there in the image. So it resulted into this. And then what I did is I had to find a jersey that was going to be the right sort of fit to what he was wearing. So I had to go and search online to see what I could find. And I found this jersey here. So this was the player wearing it. And then I cut him out. And that looked like it was going to fit quite nicely on Nehe. And then I dragged that across into the jersey swap here. And you can see that how it fitted on quite nicely on here. So then what I had to do is I had to then duplicate this layer here to be able to put the ball and his hands in front of the jersey. So how I did that was just by doing that. So I just cut around his arms and around the ball and then just added that into the layer here. And then I've also got the shorts as well. So how I did the shorts, I just actually used the pen tool and cut all the way around there. And then just change the color to a blue. So I had a blue color on there and then just changed it to a screen. So if I have it normal, you can see it has this there, but if I change it to screen, you can see that the logo comes through. So that's how I did the shorts. So going back to the jersey, I brought this jersey across into the graphic. And if you can see here, that's how it shows out. So I'll talk you through now how I just sort of molded and just sort of just massaged the jersey onto Nehe wearing the Hurricanes jersey. So this is how I went about doing it. Okay, so this is the image of Nehe wearing Hurricanes jersey, getting this Highlanders jersey on top. So here we go here. So I just sort of just sized it up. The best thing to do is pull the seat so it makes it a little bit see-through so you can sort of see how it fits. And then that's a probably easier way to mold it onto the player. So let's just resize that by coming down here and bringing that across. And you can sort of see how the shoulders are starting to fall in line with the jersey size. So I'll pull that back a bit. And again, you can sort of see how the waist is about the same width. And you just move that up a little bit and also around the neck area as well. That looks pretty good. So I want to zoom in on that And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to here to edit and go to transform and then get warp. Now with the warp tool, you can actually move it around. So you can just drag that across and move it around. But see how when you move this side shoulder here, this whole part over here moves, and you don't really want that. You only sort of really want sections of it to move. So how I eliminate that, I'm just going to Command Z on that. And how I eliminate that is actually just by going right click and adding horizontal, warp horizontal. So that what that does is it creates bars across the image. And so if I just say I just want to add that there, so click on the cursor there. And then if I start pulling that up, it only brings up a little bit. So the whole image below doesn't come up. So if I fall in line with the shoulders there, and I'm going to add another one as well. So I'm going to add another horizontal. And why I'm going to do that is so I don't want the rest of this bottom part of the jersey to move. So I'm just going to click that there, and see now if I move the jersey here, see only the top part's moving, none of the bottom part's moving. So that's super helpful, so you don't actually distort the bottom part of the jersey. So I want to try and bring the neckline up here, so I want to bring that up a little bit. So what I need to do is bring this part up and around. So if I just did that, see how it brings the whole jersey up. So I'm going to create another horizontal warp by creating a split, and I'm going to click that there, and I'm going to bring that all the way up. But see how it's moving the whole rest of the jersey as well, even though it's only moving the top part of it. I don't want to move this side, I only want to do this side. So how I eliminate that, I'm going to create another distort, and this time I'm going to go vertically. Click vertical, and then I'm going to hit that maybe about there, and then I'm going to do another one. So right click, split vertically, and I'm going to probably put that about there, see how that works out. So now really all I'm moving is probably just this box here and maybe a little bit down here. So let's just move that and see what happens. See again, see how it keeps moving around? Again, it keeps moving this part here. So I'm going to do right click again, add another vertical. So I'll probably just put that there. And what hopefully that should do is eliminate from this here from moving. So if I drag that up, yeah, see how it's just moving that over there. So now I'm just going to pull that across, but I want to bring that back down there like that. I might add another vertical, another horizontal, probably about here, and then I'm just going to pull that up and that across, and that across. Pull that up. Now I want to pull his shoulders up here, pull this shoulder section up, pull this shoulder section, undo that, pull that shoulder section up. Now I want to do the same over here. I'm going to pull this shoulder section up. See, if I pull that back up, you can start seeing how it's just slowly starting to look a bit better on body. Okay, so see how it comes, see how his arm here, but the jersey's over here. So if I move that across there, you can start seeing it's moving in quite nicely. You see now it's aligning with his arm. What I actually want to do is actually move that up, but see it's moving the whole lot. See, I want this section here to be up here. So again, I'm going to right click and horizontal. I'll probably put that about there. I'm going to do another right click, horizontal, probably pull that up there. So if I can try and move that up, maybe slightly move that up, move that up, move that up. And then you just keep molding it as you go, just sort of as you need to. I'm going to create another vertical one here, because I don't want this part of the jersey to move too much. So move that up. But now I want to see how this width here needs to come way in here. So again, I'm going to create another vertical. So I want to split that off, and I'm going to see if I can try and pull that in like that. Is this the actual? So it's a lot of just manipulating around, just moving that around. Again, if I pull that back up, you can start to see how it's looking quite nice on body. So if I just pull that across again, bring that there, I want to bring that collar around just a little bit, so I'm going to pull that there, and now I can move. Oops, I'm going to do another horizontal. See how that goes. Pull that down. There we go. You can see that looks quite nice on body. So you just keep playing around with that. So that's the easiest way that I do it. So it's so good having this vertical and horizontal lines to help you adjust the jersey where you need it. You don't have to adjust the whole lot. You can actually just adjust sections of the jersey that you want. Again, if I can pull that out, oops, lift that up, maybe lift that up a bit, and just keep bringing that up. And you can see it's sort of starting to come together quite nicely. Oops. I'll pull that across. And then pull this back out. So there you can see it's starting to come together quite nicely. Like I say, if I put that back up to 100, you can see it sort of fits on his body quite nicely like that. But I just do a little bit more down here. There you go. And pull that up. And just a touch, oops, undo. Like that. If I pull that back, and so there you have it. So that there it's coming together quite nicely. So you can sort of see it looks realistic because his shoulders are about the same, his arms are about the same. Then if we add the ball in front of that, you can see how it's sort of come together quite nice. So that's how then I worked around with it a bit more. So you can imagine what it would look like once it's completed. So if we go back to the completed shot, like that. Cool, so that's the one of Nehe jumping. So there you've got to sort of find the jersey. First we've got to try and find somebody wearing the jersey about his size frame, and also looking about the way that he is in the jump shot. So you've got to sort of find the jersey that sort of matches that look. Now we'll jump into the one where he's on an angle, the second part of the graphic that he's behind, the big image behind Nehe jumping, and I'll show you how I created that as well. So how I created this here is I found this image of him wearing this jersey here. So there's what the original image looked like, and then I was lucky enough to find somebody wearing the Highlanders jersey in the same kind of angle. That was a really critical part, trying to find somebody that was wearing the jersey in the same angle, so I was able to manipulate it or mold it onto Nehe wearing the other jersey. So this is what the final shot looked like with him wearing the jersey. So that's this layer here, that's him over the top, but of course I had to put his arm and the ball back over, so all I did was just duplicate this layer and then added that there, add on a mask, and then just brushed it in. So if you can see that there's how that came about, putting the ball over top of the jersey. So let's break this down. I'll show you exactly how I did it. So let's take the Highlanders jersey that I found online, and then let's just try and mold that onto Nehe, just like we did with the graphic that we did of him jumping in the air. It's just all about using the warp tool and then just using it horizontally and vertically. So if we go over to click on edit and then go down to transform, go across to warp, and we can see that there. So again, as if we start moving that around, it moves the jersey, which is great, but you can also see it moves these sections down here. We only really want to just move the parts up here to be sitting on his shoulders correctly. What I also do is I bring this down to about 50%, so I can see through the jersey and making sure that it fits quite nicely on body. So you can see over here that shoulder's quite high compared to what Nehe's got over here. So if I try and bring that down, if I bring that down, it also brings down the neckline. So if I can Command Z and undo that, add in a horizontal warp. So that's that section there. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to add another horizontal warp. Probably about there, and then I'm going to add a vertical warp so I don't move this section over here, and I'm going to probably put it about there, add another vertical warp, and probably add that about there. Now if I start trying to manipulate or mold this section of the jersey, probably see if I keep moving that around, it blows out this logo here. If I Command Z that, I'm going to put another vertical here, another horizontal here. So hopefully that won't move the logo so much. So if I can bring that down, might even do another vertical, another horizontal. Keep getting these two mixed up. If I can add that there, see how that goes. Actually, I might just bring this down. Pull that deck section down. Bring that logo down, bring all that down so it fits nicely. Bring that across. And just play around with that. And then do this side of the shoulder as well. Again, just using the horizontal warp tool and then the vertical. So add the vertical there because I want to do this collar. See how that looks. Yep, and then pull this up. But then also drop the shoulder a bit. So if I pull that back up, you can start seeing how that looks on body. I pull it back. Now we want to sort of do the arms, bring that across, pull that back up. Just pull that around. I just add in another horizontal. See how we go here. Actually, I might add a vertical there as well. I can hit that and then see if I can bring that section around. Undo. So yeah, so there you can see I'm starting to mold that around. So if I just hit enter and then bring that up to 100, you can start to see it's sort of fitting quite nicely. Even though we've got this black collar on here, it doesn't really look too out of place. As long as this collar here is looking quite nice, sitting on body, it doesn't actually look too bad. So if I add in the ball in front, put that on top there, you can see how that's looking not too bad, you know. So we'll just keep playing around that for a little bit, and then just what you're doing is you're massaging the jersey on top of the player's body, just to sort of making it fit correctly, like as if you were with Play-Doh or something like that. You're sort of just molding it onto body to the shape that you need it, just by using the vertical and the horizontal warp tool. So as we keep playing around, we eventually get to the way that we want it, something like this. And then that looks quite nice on body there with the ball in front. Then what I would do is I would save that as a PNG file, and then I'd take that and put that into my graphic, and then I would put a layer mask on top of that, and then just brush that in just subtly, just not too over the top, and then add a bit of texture on top of that as well. Actually, I've created a tutorial about how I created that graphic. I'll put the card up here or even the description below, and you can check that out, and how it all sort of combines together quite nicely and ended up being the graphic that we finalized for Nehe to be able to use for his social channel. So there you have it, team. I hope you got some value out of that. Again, I'm not a professional, as you've just seen, but this is just how I created the graphic. I hope you got some value out of this, and maybe you can show me or tag me in any graphics that you may have learned from this and applied to yourself. And I'd love to see what you guys get up to. Thank you again for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. I'll see you then.